Hello everybody, this is your news report, second stimulus check update, and second stimulus package update. According to the Chicago Tribune, Congress averts government shutdown and buys more time for stimulus relief talks. And according to CNBC, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has rejected a bipartisan stimulus relief plan, while the House of Representatives adjourns until next week. Lawmakers plan to pass a one-week government funding extension through December 18th in order to buy more time to craft the pandemic rescue package and spending plan. Now before we get into the video, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the notifications bell. That way you'll never miss all of the newest and most up-to-date, reliable stimulus check information. And let's get this video to 5,000 likes if you think that Congress must pass more stimulus relief. My message to our American government is to stop playing the political games, help the American people, and pass the stimulus. If you agree, then leave a comment down below saying I agree.
Every day and night for the last 3.5 weeks.
It's all Washington talk. You said earlier, Senator, that a deal is very close, but there is still no bill. Republicans are demanding protections from lawsuits for big corporations. Democrats demanding help from workers in the public sector and money for state and local that Republicans are blocking. Both sides say they want direct payment for disaster victims, but there is not a penny in direct payments in your proposal. Why not?
Well, let's talk. Shepard, basically, this is truly an emergency package.
But there's not money for direct payments to people in your bill or in your plan, or is there?
There is not, because the emergency basically is more with the people who are unemployed, who don't have a job, who don't have a check, who have nothing. This is an emergency to get us through the first quarter, which will be the most difficult quarter that we've ever had. And that's all we've done. They wanted 1.2, 1.3 was the bottom line the Democrats would go to. The Republicans wouldn't get off of 500. We finally have moved everybody to say it takes $900 billion to get us through the most challenging times.
Senator, I don't know who us is, because that doesn't get money to the people. You know, when a hurricane strikes in the Gulf South, the government rushes to help. When fires ravage California, the government steps in. We're 9 months into the biggest health crisis, and the federal government has done nothing for the...
Now according to CNBC, lawmakers hope to approve more stimulus aid before lifelines expire at the end of the month. But issues including state and local aid, liability protections, unemployment assistance, and stimulus checks are still dividing Congress. The House's move to end work for the week came as Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's staff informed congressional leadership that Senate Republicans likely will not support a $908 billion bipartisan proposal. That's according to CNBC. Now, Politico first reported the Kentucky Republicans' plan to brush aside the next stimulus, which members of his caucus have helped to craft. Congressional leaders continue to stress the importance of improving a rescue bill in the coming days to prevent about 12 million Americans from losing unemployment benefits and stop families across the country from getting tossed out of their homes. On Thursday, Democrats again endorsed the bipartisan talks. Those discussions, however, still have not yielded legislation as lawmakers finalize provisions related to state and local relief and GOP-backed legal immunity for businesses. According to NBC News, they reported that the group agreed Thursday on how to distribute $160 billion in state and local funds, but has not resolved questions about legal immunity. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer described the bipartisan negotiations as the only real game in town to craft a bill that could get through a divided Congress. He contended McConnell has tried to trip up those talks in favor of a plan that includes only policies Republicans support. Now folks, tell me in the comments down below, who do you think is to blame for holding back the next stimulus bill? According to CNBC, McConnell targeted Democrats on Thursday for what he called efforts to delay new relief. He has backed more narrow legislation of about $500 billion.
This is not a do-all, end-all. Joe Biden says this is a down payment. He comes in as our president in January. He'll put basically another package to take us out of this mess that we have. We've got to bridge that gap. That's all we're trying to do. We couldn't even get any of our caucuses on anything. After the election, we said something has to be done. They're not moving, Shepard. We are. We're out there doing something and putting it on the line. We gave you about 90% of a bill. We have two things.
There is no bill.
There's not a Democrat or
Senator,
Republican.
with great respect, I've always enjoyed conversations with you for more than a decade, but the open secret in Washington is there is no incentive to work together. You get votes by fighting with the other party, and you get money from special interests. The people have no power. And wait now, and it's been like that for a long time. That's a broken system that even a pandemic that's killed 280,000 Americans cannot shake up. Do we need a new system?
McConnell offered this week to drop liability protections and stay in local aid from talks. Democrats rejected the trade-off due to worries that states or cities will have to lay off first responders and teachers without more federal help. Sure, House Speaker Pelosi also shot down a $916 billion offer from the Trump administration because it did not include a federal jobs benefits supplement. McConnell on Thursday said he hopes our colleagues let Congress deliver more help soon. Now folks, tell me in the comments down below, do you think that Congress will pass more stimulus relief before the end of the year?
These people are not, this is not a stimulus. This is emergency disaster relief for people who don't have jobs through no fault of their own. And even your compromise today, which isn't yet a bill, provides no direct payments to the victims of this disaster. We don't even have enough mass.
Shepard, you're talking about payments to people that have a job and a check. That's what you're talking about. We're talking about people that's got nothing. They're getting thrown out of their homes. They have nobody, there's nowhere to go. Their food substances running out.
According to Detroit News, negotiators on separate $1.4 trillion omnibus spending bill appear to be moving in a positive direction in regards to a second stimulus bill. Now sending direct cash payments to households was not included in the bipartisan proposal, or a lower cost from Senate Republicans that has failed twice. The idea of another round of cash payments has been embraced by politicians like Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Senator Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders told reporters, "We're not going to go home for our Christmas holidays unless we make sure that we provide for the millions of families in this country who are suffering." And according to this report from Yahoo Money, analysts argue that the US needs an estimated $4.5 trillion in stimulus to recover. The Groundwork Collaborative found that a stimulus package worth $3 trillion to $4.5 trillion will be required for American businesses and their workers to work at their full potential and the real unemployment rate to fall to 3.5%. Mark Paul, a political economist, told Yahoo Money, "We need stimulus and we need it fast. Every day that we wait, we risk disenfranchising more people from the economy. Every day that we wait, more people are facing evictions, and the $3.4 trillion HEROES Act passed the Democratic-controlled House on October 1st, but was never considered by the GOP-controlled Senate. The latest bipartisan stimulus proposal would cost $908 billion. The negotiations are in disarray as House Democrats continue to disagree on key issues, such as stimulus checks, aid for state governments, and liability protection. Democratic leaders are backing the $908 billion proposal, while Mitch McConnell stands by roughly $500 billion proposal. Mark Paul also said that Congress is debating a stimulus package right now that will leave our estimate of true unemployment still hovering around double digits. We have the tools to put the economy back on track. Unfortunately, Congress lacks the political will to act. My message to our American government is to pass the stimulus. The great American people need help now. If you agree with me, then leave a comment down below saying, I agree.